Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane Kay. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 6, He Delivered Me from All My Fears. The episode opens with Cody explaining how this is the first Christmas that he is with just one wife and her children. Now, let's remember last Christmas was basically the same thing. Cody didn't even consider texting his kids last Christmas. Except last year, Cody was really put upon because he couldn't lavish Robin with all of the affection he usually likes to. Because pesky Mary was around last Christmas, just cramping Cody's style, preventing him from being as romantic as he wanted with Robin. So this Christmas, Cody is with just his favorite wife and her kids. And he can be as handsy as he wants with Robin because Mary isn't coming and Cody is stoked about it. Robin is crying on the bathroom floor and Cody is stoked about this. Now, the kids are just waking up. It's Christmas morning at the Goblin's Lair and Cody is doing his best. He wants to be present. He really wants to engage with his family, with the family he has with him. That's his main concern. Robin and her kids, of course, like every year. This is Robin's first Christmas alone without Mary, just stuck alone, shackled to Cody with her kids. Now, Cody complains that it takes so much time, it takes so much effort, so much work. He complains about how much work it is wrapping all of the presents for Robin's kids. And, my first thought was, imagine what it would be like for Cody if he actually got all of his kids presents the way he does for Robin's kids. He wants to complain about how much work it is for Robin's kids when he doesn't even consider getting his other kids presents. In Salt Lake, Christine is having her Christmas with Aspen and Mitch, McKelty and Tony, the babies, Isabel, and Truly. And McKelty is having a great time, but she misses the Brown family Christmas chaos. And in North Carolina, Janelle is over at Maddie's house. Mary is visiting Salt Lake for Christmas, and she is hanging out with her friends. She clarifies, as we know, that she and Cody are split up, and she says it would be nonsensical for her to spend Christmas with Cody and Robin. She refuses to be the third wheel anymore. Mary doesn't want to go where she's not welcome. She would rather be somewhere where people actually want her to be there, where they want to be her friend, where they want to be around her. For Robin, the best part of Christmas was that her kids had a really good time. She's happy that her kids had a really good day. So fuck the rest of the Brown kids. Her kids had fun. They had a perfect Christmas. And really, of course, we all know that's all Robin cares about. So Robin really wants to focus on the positive for her kids. She tries to be positive for her kids. She wants them to have a really perfect day, a really good day, a great Christmas. Mary points out that she loves Christmas. She loves the holiday. She loved the past Christmases and she loved all the memories that they had as a family. But she knows people evolve, things change, things are different now. And she understands that and she looks forward to that. At this point, Christine has been seeing David about a month. She's really into him. She mentions David a lot to her kids. Aspen is really excited about her mom experiencing dating really for the first time, since with Cody, she really never had that experience. And Christine married Cody so young that she didn't really have a dating experience before him. So this experience with the dating and with David is really Christine's first experience dating. So she's handling it kind of like a giddy teenager, getting really into it, getting really excited about it. Right now, Mary isn't really too into dating. That feels weird for her. It's a weird concept for her. And she points out being in a plural family for over 30 years, it's a lot for a new person to take on and understand. And Christina's mentioned to Janelle that she hired a matchmaker. And so Janelle isn't really into dating. She wants to meet someone organically. She really isn't looking for someone. She's not into the matchmaking sites or the dating apps or really finding anyone. That's not her thing right now. So Cody mentions that he knows Christina's going to date, but that's not his business. They have separate private lives now. It's not his business at all. So Christine was really nervous about dating. And she contacted this matchmaker and she really wanted a guy who was the opposite of Cody. She wanted a bald guy, a guy who was tatted, a guy who drives a motorcycle. And David is Christine's boyfriend now. And they met a month after they started talking. They had a great first date. They had a great second date. And Christine says that David is charming. He's kind. He has amazing eyes. And Christine told Dave that she was a polygamist on her second date. He already knew about polygamy because there are people in his family that were in plural marriages. He's not interested in plural marriage himself, but he was familiar with it. Some of Christine's kids have met Dave. Tony and McKelty like Dave. David has 8 kids and 9 grandkids, and his wife passed over it a decade ago. And Dave was a single father, and he raised his kids alone. Dave seems like a class act. He seems like a genuine guy, and he's definitely a real man, not a coward. He seems like a real man, like a complete opposite of some other people we know. Christine knew after the first date that she really wanted to invest in David, and she really cares how her kids feel about David. She wants her kids to like David, of course, but she says how her kids feel about David, it won't affect her relationship with David at all. She's going to continue to move forward and progress her relationship with David and trust her feelings regardless, but of course she wants her kids to like the guy. So Christine and David are moving things along very quickly, and there's a lot of affection and PDA with David and Christine. And Christine is kind of acting like a teenager in love for the first time, who actually gets to go out and start a relationship with their crush like for the first time. She's kind of acting like that at 50 or past 50. But this is also her first real dating romance experience in a normal monogamous relationship. So this is her first time, and she's doing it at 50. And it feels a little amateurish or like a teenager, but she is in love. And this is the first time she's really experienced a relationship and dating and a monogamy. So we have to cut Christine a little slack on that front. But she's very heavy with the PDA. And it kind of makes Isabel and Peyton a little uncomfortable. They like David. They're just a little concerned with how quickly things are moving. And of course, Tony and McKelty really like David. Isabel is the most protective of Christine's kids, and she is really taking David the hardest. She's very hesitant about David because she's so protective of her mom. And she thinks it's kind of strange that her mom is dating. She's not used to this. She knows her mom just got divorced and this is moving very quickly. And so she thinks her mom might be moving too fast, and Peyton agrees. Aspen kind of sees it as well. I do think Christine is moving a little fast, but sometimes the heart wants what it wants. So the kids feel weird about the PDA because Christine really wasn't affectionate with Cody ever. And David is very physically affectionate with their mom in front of them. The kids feel weird about it. Christine doesn't care. She's taking all the affection she can get. She missed it for so long. Now, Janelle says she and Cody were always affectionate, but she herself, she wasn't comfortable with PDA. She didn't like PDA, although Cody was very affectionate with her. Now, Mary thinks there should be a limit to PDA. Cody says being in a plural marriage, he hated PDA. He felt it was awkward. He felt it caused a lot of problems. But with Robin, he loves PDA. He loves being affectionate. But Robin, on the other hand, doesn't like it so much. Robin is kind of shy with her affection in public. Although Aspen thinks the PDA between David and her mom is a bit much, she knows that her mom always wanted more affection from her dad, and so she's happy that David is a very affectionate guy because her mom likes that. David's kids have met Christine. They really like Christine, and Peyton really feels that David is really like his mom's first real boyfriend. She never got that experience as a teenager when most people get it. So he thinks it's fast, but he knows that this is a brand new experience for his mom. So this is something teenagers do that Christine is doing at 50 plus. And so we have to cut Christine slack. Now, David seems very humble. He's very genuine. He knows about Janelle. He knows about Janelle's kids and how Christine considers Janelle's kids her kids as well. And David is down to meet Janelle and all the kids and anyone attached to Christine, and he's down to welcome them. So Christine is really relieved that David understands polygamy. And we learned that Christine said, "I love you," in a week. A week after they met, David said it first, and then Christine said, "I love you." Personally, I think that's way too quick, but the heart wants what it wants. Peyton really just wants his mom to be safe, and he also wants to see his mom be happy. And Christine says, amid all the chaos in this crazy world, when she's with David, she feels calm, and they're calm together. And she already knows at this point that she wants to be with him forever. And of course, we know Christine married David. They had a beautiful wedding filled with love. That was one of the best weddings I've seen. Christine feels that David is her soulmate. She feels that they're so synced, and she realized she was in love with David. So Janelle is now at Maddie's with Savannah, and they want to get property with Maddie and Caleb. So Maddie, Caleb, and Janelle, they want to do the same thing that they were going to do with Coyote Pass. They want to buy land and they want to build on the property. And Janelle really loves the property in Montana. The only thing holding Janelle back from moving forward and getting out of that apartment in Flagstaff, getting out of Flagstaff, and getting property with Maddie and Caleb that she can build on is Cody, because Janelle still hasn't gotten the land paid off with Cody and Mary and Robin. Janelle told Cody she wanted him to buy her out, and he seemed interested in that, but she knows Cody. Cody is like a turtle. He is very slow to take action. Janelle is going to be consulting a lawyer, but the plan is to split the property 4 ways. Cody says he doesn't have his part of the money to pay off the property. And Janelle has the money. She has all the money she owes for this land, for her part of the land, and it's just sitting in her bank account. And she's just waiting to resolve this, wanting to get done so she can move forward with her life. And she knows that paying off this land, it's up to herself, Cody, Mary, and Robin to just get it done. And Cody is making excuses. He's taking his time. He's saying he doesn't have the money when Janelle has the money ready, Mary has the money ready, and he's the only one not taking action. So she's getting really frustrated. Janelle suggested to Cody that he can just get a loan and he can finance and he can buy her out. And Janelle just wants to move on. Cody is holding her up. She wants to get out of Flagstaff. She wants to move. She wants to build, and she wants to settle somewhere permanently. Janelle remembers right after Vegas having a perspective change. She decided that she wasn't going to sit around and wait for Cody. And she points out if she sat around and she waited for Cody, nothing would happen. Nothing would ever change. Nothing would move forward. So next, Cody stops by Mary's to talk about the breakup. He wants to clarify things. Basically, he went there to be cruel to Mary. And he says his whole life with Mary has said one thing, but he felt other vibes coming from her. He felt like she was gaslighting him. And he says he is sick of never knowing where she is really at. And Cody says he doesn't want to accuse Mary of gaslighting, but he feels like he's been shoveling bullshit his whole life. You see how cruel this man is? The marriage is over. They even got the spiritual release through the church. And Cody isn't done being cruel to Mary. He wants to go in and beat the dead horse. He wanted to get rid of her. He wanted her out of his life. She got out of his life. She went and got a spiritual release, so she's not even tied to him for eternity. She wants nothing to do with him. She doesn't even want to be at his house on Christmas to see Robin and the kids. She wants to be nowhere around this man. And he came around just to inflict more cruelty on her, even though he already got what he wanted. Because Cody gets off on being cruel. He gets off on being mean. There's many screws loose in that man's brain, in my opinion. Oh, Cody is tired of shoveling the bullshit his whole life with Mary, and he's here to stick it to Mary. So Mary has moved forward. She's gone through with the church, with the termination of her marriage, with the spiritual release. And Cody doesn't like how the church leaders called him and told him that they're terminating the spiritual marriage because of abandonment, because he abandoned Mary. Cody's ego doesn't like that, so he's going there to try and stick it to Mary because he's a coward. Next, Christine mentions how Nancy, the Browns' so-called marriage therapist, told her to make a list of all the traits she wanted in her husband. So Christine made this list at Nancy's request. She wanted a good communicator, someone present with her, someone present with her kids, and someone attracted to her. And Cody wasn't any of the things on the list. And so Christine read this list to Cody, and Cody acknowledged, he told her he wasn't any of those things on the list. David is all of those things. David loves his family. David raised his kids basically alone when his wife passed away. David has his own business. Family is David's priority. He was a single dad. David has his own drywall business. And Christine says David is honest, he's real, and he has a very good reputation in his community. He seems to be a really great communicator, and he seems to tick all of Christine's boxes on that list of everything she wants in her husband. So we meet David this episode, Christine's boyfriend, and David refers to himself as her burrito. You can tell Christine is glowing and she's madly in love with this man. The way she giggles and she blushes and stuff, it's literally like reminds, like when you're like have your first crush and you're like in junior high, that's the kind of vibe that Christine has, except you could tell like she legit loves him, he loves her, and they're like good together and they have a very positive energy and it's all about love, and their wedding was all about love. I think they have a really good vibe together. For now, at this point in their lives, they definitely seem to be on the same wavelength. Christine went through a lot. Christine definitely deserves this, and it is so good as a viewer to see Christine happy like this, to see her be seen, to see her be loved for who she is, even if it's just in this moment, whether it's for forever, whether it's for this time, whether it's for this moment, we don't know. But for right now, she's having the time of her life. She's having fun. She feels loved, and it's good. And you just have to enjoy these moments in life. And I'm so happy that Christine gets to experience this peace and love and happiness. She deserves it. She deserves it. David's very open. David says he feels like he is Christine's soulmate. She is his unicorn. Again, he has 8 kids. His wife passed away. He raised his kids alone. And we learned Christine made the first move. Christine messaged David on a dating site. And on the third date, by the third date, there was no affection yet. There wasn't even a first kiss. Nothing going on. And Christine worried that David was friend zoning her and he wasn't affectionate. So Christine was concerned. And of course she has this complex, even though she's gorgeous, because of idiot Cody making her feel unattractive. So David admits they made out on the third date. They had a makeout session. That was their first kiss. And he says Christine was desperate for affection. So David says, someone once told him you find love when you least expect it, and he found Christine when he least expected it. So David really loves how great of a mother Christine is. That really drew her to him. He loves how dedicated she is to being a mother. David loves all of Christine's craziness, and he says Christine is perfect for him. And of course, we know Christine loves David's eyes. These two, Christine and David, they are all about each other. And, you know, for now, as I said, they're on the same wavelength and they just need to ride it out and enjoy it. Hopefully for forever. Hopefully. So back to the doom and gloom, the shitstorm of Cody. Cody meets with Mary to discuss things. He looks angry and resentful even before they start talking. So Mary tells Cody that she's living in Parowan now. And Cody tells Mary, you know, they discuss their relationship. And Mary says after he made it clear that he wasn't interested in working on their relationship, she moved on. Now, Cody is angry in this confessional scene. He is full of resentment. He looks insane. And he says, we shouldn't blame him. Don't blame him for not loving Mary. Cody says he was doing his duty and Mary needs to blame herself if he doesn't love her. I want to point out that, you know, Cody says he never loved Mary, and he wants to say he never loved any of these women at any point, even when he married them. And he's doing this with intention. He wants to be cruel. He wants to hurt these women. He gets off on that. But he also does it to try and distance himself so he doesn't have to take accountability for his toxic behavior. So here is a quote from Becoming Sister Wives, and this is Cody reflecting on his relationship with Mary when he married her. And this is what Cody writes. He says, "Our friendship developed into a remarkable love affair." And he goes on to say, "It was clear to me that when Mary and I were finally married, there would be no awkwardness between us. Mary was my fiance, and we were very much in love. Our relationship was a typical love story, the kind you see in movies and on TV. She would smile from across a room, and I would wink back at her. We must have aggravated our friends and families with how much in love we were. While we were outwardly infatuated with each other, deep down, we were becoming the soulmates I suspected we would be from the moment we met." So even though, and I've said this before, I don't believe Cody is capable of love in the way most people are. Even though with Cody, love is transactional for him, Cody prefers to rewrite history and say he never loved these women in any sense of the word. He would prefer to say he never loved them than to admit that there were times he may have felt like he loved or liked them, especially Mary. There was a time when he felt he loved or liked Mary when he first married her. But Cody likes to rewrite history to try and avoid accountability and to try and avoid the rejection of it all. He likes to rewrite history and say it was always all bad so he can distance himself from it and not feel the weight of all the loss and destruction. And maybe that works for Cody, but it really doesn't look like it. And we all see through it, Mary included. What's sad is Cody is so pathetic, he even lies to himself. A person who can't be honest with even himself and accept himself will never be capable of taking accountability with others. How can he be honest with other people if he doesn't even know himself? Cody can say he never loved Mary, he never liked anything about her, he detested her, he never loved anything about these women, he never loved any of these women. He can do that to distance himself, but he took decades of these women's lives, their best decades. He made lives with these women, he created lives with these women, and instead of Cody pitying himself and saying he never loved them, it's time Cody prioritized these women and their children, his children, while he still can. Cody can take accountability, because the way he is coping now, the cruelty with which he handles all of this, indicates more than just a few screws loose in his head, in my opinion. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see these women move forward. They're going to find peace. They're going to find love. They're going to find happiness. And we're going to see Kotex and Goblin increasingly miserable, suffocating under the weight of the karma knocking on their door. I don't think we will ever see these two take one iota of accountability, but these two will never lack the self-pity. They will always have an abundance of self-pity, and the victim mentality that they display is getting old fast. So again, Cody doesn't want to be blamed for not loving Mary, and he says he was doing his duty, and Mary needs to blame herself if he doesn't love her. And Cody goes on to say when he is in love with a woman, that's her fault. She's the one who makes him fall in love. So if he is in love with a woman, that's her fault. And he wonders what happens if he is not in love with a woman. He wonders if that's his fault, if he's accountable for not loving the woman. So Cody suggests if he is mad about a woman, if he's passionate about a woman, if he wants to serve the woman, he wants to rub her feet, he wants to carry her groceries in, if he wants to buy her jewelry, if he wants her to feel special all the time, if he is in love with a woman, he thinks then that is her fault. She made him, she did things so that he would fall in love. Love doesn't work like that. But for Cody, love is transactional. So according to Cody, if he's in love with a woman, it is her fault. And it's up to the woman to make him love them. And if he doesn't love the woman, it's her fault. You can't manipulate a person into loving you. You can't make a person love you. If a person feeding your ego inspires you, instills in you love for them, if that makes you love them, if the love is based on what you are getting from the person, That's not love. That's a completely transactional relationship. Cody isn't speaking on love. Cody's idea of love is completely transactional. For example, Robin feeds Cody's ego. He gets to be the hero. She makes things convenient. Robin kisses Cody's ass. Robin gives him the 24/7 best customer service. She constantly feeds him his ego feasts. She coddles him emotionally. So then Cody will go into love bomb mode. Oh, let me rub your feet. Let me buy you jewelry. Let me lavish you with love. Let me carry all your groceries in. It has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with heart. That is purely transactional. Cody thinks he loves Robin. He love bombs Robin, not because he loves her. He's giving her all of this extra favor and attention and investment because of the transaction. She is feeding his ego. If Cody didn't love his ex-wives, it's not their fault. Cody isn't capable of love. Cody may think it's their fault. Cody may blame the women for why he didn't love them, but Cody doesn't want love. Cody wants transactional relationships. He wants his ego fed, and then he'll act like he loves you in exchange. You be easy, you be sweet, be convenient, be obedient, and he will carry your groceries in. He will tell you the sun shines out of your ass. That's not love. What Cody perceives as love is purely transactional. And when Cody says it's Mary's fault that he did not love her, you can tell there is something deeply flawed in him. And it's sad that Cody really doesn't have the ability to truly love himself or anyone around him. Cody's concept of love, in my opinion, is all purely transactional. It's all about transaction, feeding into his ego, letting him live this fake fantasy that he is the hero he perceives himself to be, even though it's not really real or realistic. Cody doesn't actually love anyone. Cody doesn't even love himself. The love bombing of Robin, all this affection and jewelry, and let me carry in your groceries, let me rub your feet, is because she feeds his ego. She makes him believe that she perceives him the way he wishes everybody perceived him, when that's not the case, and she's just bullshitting him and managing him. It's not really love, it's transactional. She's getting security, stability, financial security, a roof over her head off of the backs of her sister wives, and Cody is getting his ego fed. It's all purely transactional on both ends. Now, Mary clarifies that she isn't placing blame here, but she's acknowledging the fact that Cody, her ex, told her he wasn't interested in working on their relationship. And at that point, of course, she knew it was done. So Cody knows that Mary wants Cody to own this, to take accountability. And Cody tells Mary basically he's not going to take accountability. He says he never said he wasn't interested on working on the relationship just because he said he could fake through it and stay with Mary. If that's what she wanted, he would fake it and go through the motions. And he says just because he said he would fake it with her and go through it, get through it with her, it doesn't mean that means that they're mutually exclusive and that he wasn't interested in working on the relationship just because he said he would fake it. If you're going to fake something and pantomime it and lie and put on a show and it's not real and you're not really giving a fuck about the relationship, obviously that indicates you're not down to work on the relationship. He's just playing a bullshit semantics game with Mary. I said this and this doesn't necessarily mean that. If you're going to fake a relationship, how are you interested and invested on working on it if you're saying you're willing to fake it? Mary lets Cody know she was never interested in faking it. That was never an interest of hers. And Cody says he was saying he will fake it, and that is not the same thing as saying he wasn't interested in working on it. And so he isn't going to own it because they're not the same thing. So, of course, he's not going to take accountability. He's a coward. We expect that. Now, at this point, Mary warns Cody she's not here to fight. So if they're going to fight, she's just going to shut this whole conversation down. Now, Cody says it's really an accountability conversation. And he's there. He wants basically Mary to take accountability. He wants Mary to admit that together they decided mutually that the relationship wasn't going to progress. So Mary tells Cody that they both had a part in it. She had her part in it too, and she took the steps. It's even done in the spiritual fashion with the church. She got the spiritual release, so they're over in all senses of the word. It's over. They're done. That's it. She's moving forward. So Cody asks Mary about moving forward together. He mumbles something about moving forward together with Mary. And Mary explains to Cody, even though he should already know, of course, there is no moving forward together. They're divorced now. They're done. Even spiritually, it's over. It's completely done. Now, Janelle says she used to hang out with Mary and Cody before she married Cody. They hung out a lot. And Janelle remembers Cody and Mary being goofy together. And they argued too, for sure. But she knew they were in it for the long haul, and they all figured all of this out together. Even though there were issues, they all had emotional growth when they were figuring out how to work the family around all of the different personalities that were in the family. So Mary says the breakdown of the relationship isn't all on Cody. She admits she has her part in it too, but Mary doesn't think Cody likes to see that he failed. He doesn't like to acknowledge his failure. And this abandonment thing, this abandonment label from the church really dents Cody's ego. So Mary says if Cody didn't want to fail, maybe he shouldn't have married the wrong person 1, 2, or 3 times. Because of course, Cody's rewriting of history, his new narrative is he never loved any of them. He never loved any of them. Not even when he married them. So Mary's saying if Cody never wanted to fail, she points out, he admits he never loved these women even when he married them. That's what he's saying now. He's saying they were wrong for him. He looks back and he knows they were wrong for him. He knows he never loved them. So if that's so, then Mary is saying if Cody never really wanted to fail, if he knew it was a wrong fit, if he knew it wasn't going to work, that it wasn't love, why would he marry them and why would he go on with this for so long? And Mary is right. If you don't want to fail, why keep at this if you know from the beginning that it's wrong? See, I think Mary knows Cody is never going to do right by her. Cody is never going to take accountability. He obviously should. Mary deserves better. They all deserve better, especially Cody's kids. I don't think we will ever see better from Cody. Mary is right to wonder why this went on for so long. Mary lets Cody know, this isn't a contest. Nobody won here. Nobody's a winner. And Cody, of course, never imagined they would be here. He never imagined his family would be like this. And Cody says he got a phone call from the church and they told him they gave Mary a release on account of abandonment. And that really bothers Cody, that word abandonment. Cody, of course, doesn't believe he ever abandoned Mary. And Mary says she informed Cody she was going to the meeting. Cody was invited. Of course, Cody refused to attend. He wanted nothing to do with this, even though he was invited. So Mary knows they used the word abandonment with Cody, and that Cody really didn't like that. She points out that most people don't like the truth. Cody's a coward. Cody is very afraid of the truth. I think Mary's going to tell a lot of truth. Christine and Janelle are going to tell a lot of truth. I think Cody's kids are going to tell a lot of truth. And I think Cody is going to call it all lies. He's going to make excuses for all of it. He won't take accountability for any of it. He's just going to twist it all and ignore it and shirk any responsibility or accountability like the coward that he is. He refuses to pull up his big boy panties. Mary's very right. Most people don't like the truth. Listen, love Mary or hate Mary, the woman was abandoned over a decade ago. Cody strung Mary along. Cody was cruel. Cody was neglectful. Cody was absent. And we all know Cody got off on being cruel, especially to Mary. Cody may not like the truth that he abandoned Mary, but whether Mary says it, whether the church leaders say it, whether the viewers say it and see it, it is obvious that Cody abandoned Mary as a husband over a decade ago. Now, Cody may not like that truth, but it's a fact. that Cody was a shit husband, he was an absent husband to Mary, and Mary didn't deserve it. Cody wants to know why Mary got the release so quickly. After stringing Mary along for decades, he has the nerve to confront Mary to ask her why she got this release so quickly. So, of course, Mary finds it interesting that Cody thinks it was quick, and she points out it was a long, slow, painful process. You cannot look at the way Cody spoke on Mary throughout the seasons over the years so cruelly, so meanly. You can't look at that and say it wasn't painful. That had to hurt. This is the mother of Cody's child who spent over 30 years with this man, and this is how he does her. That's the level of human being and the low consciousness this man has. Of course it was painful, and we all see it. Cody is no victim. And now to see him feel sorry for himself and the self-pity and the victim bullshit narrative that he and Robin spew, it's disgusting. They're disgusting. Cody really is pathetic. He really is pathetic. He has plenty of pity for himself and for Robin, but he never considers the way he made Mary feel, the way he made Christine feel, the way he made Janelle feel, the way he makes Gabe feel, the way Isabel felt when he didn't go to her surgery, the way his kids feel. Does he ever consider that? He only feels bad for himself. He's a coward. He's not a man. Mary tells Cody that she married him because she was committed to him. She was committed to this, and she loved him. And Cody is pissed because he feels like Mary had a choice to go talk to the church in that situation and go get the release. But Cody says he could not. He felt like he had no choice with the release. He was just called. He was just told about the termination by the church. Listen, Cody had an option to go to that release meeting. Cody had an option to participate. Cody didn't even show up. He's pissed that he was called. He was told about the termination on grounds of abandonment by the church. And now all of a sudden, Cody is pretending to give a fuck. Listen, Cody is no victim. And I want to remind everyone, a few episodes ago, Cody was talking about how he didn't believe in the church. He didn't care. He wasn't going to go. So if Cody cared so much and now he's saying his hands were tied, he didn't have a choice, he's a victim. He's a victim. If he cared so much, why was he too big of a coward to show his face? Why didn't he go there and show his face with Mary instead of making her go alone? Cody didn't show his face at the church because he is a coward, and now he wants to play victim like his hands were tied, like he had no choice. That's how pathetic this guy is. That's how big a fucking loser this guy is. Now, Mary tells Cody it's bullshit and it's unfair to her. And Mary explains to Cody that she would have rather he told her that this was over years ago. And Cody says he couldn't do that. He felt compelled to stick it out with Mary regardless of their terrible relationship. Cody's a head case in my opinion. Next, Cody explains when he was 6, he was so rattled. He was so traumatized by Sonny and Cher's divorce, and that stayed with him. He was holding on to it. So because of that trauma, Cody really needs to fucking get his head out of his ass with this bullshit. So because of that trauma from decades ago, from Sonny and Cher's divorce when he was 6, it stayed with him. So he is holding on, and this thing with Mary and this thing with the divorces, he is holding on to because of how bad he felt when he was 6 when Sonny and Cher got divorced. And he says he knows damn well he doesn't want to be in this relationship with Mary. He didn't want to be in the relationship with Janelle. And he says he knows Christine did him a favor by being brave enough to leave. So now Christine did him a favor by being brave enough to leave. But just episodes ago, Christine started the shitstorm. Christine ruined the family. Christine did this. Christine did that. Christine did this. She's a shitstorm. She ruined the family. And now she was the one who was brave enough who left. She did him the favor. Every episode there are new contradictions. This guy doesn't know his head from his ass. Mary doesn't really want to talk about her life or her private life, and she knows Janelle and Christine are going to have their own lives, their own separate private lives that Cody will know nothing about at all. And she knows that will drive Cody crazy, the not knowing, and Cody will struggle with that loss of control. So right now, Cody is confused like every day, and Mary feels sad that their relationship was so confusing for Cody. Cody says he wishes he wouldn't have ever married Mary. And he says he married a woman he didn't love and he wanted to serve her, but nothing he did was ever enough. I want to point out that it's interesting that Cody says that nothing he did was ever enough. Because over and over and over, we hear Christine and Janelle say they tried to please Cody. They did all they could to be convenient, and they felt like no matter what they did to become what Cody wanted, to be what Cody expected of them, they still felt like it was never enough, like they didn't matter to Cody as the mothers of his children, as his wives. I also want to point out, again, Cody says he never loved Mary, but if we look back to that excerpt from Becoming Sister Wives, Cody says they were soulmates. Cody says the marriage with Mary was on the rocks. It was turbulent the entire marriage. He had a better relationship with Janelle and Christine and Robin. And even Janelle and Christine didn't survive. So Cody says he should have gotten out of the relationship with Mary 25 years ago. And Cody blames Mary for not making her choice to leave sooner. He tells her directly he wishes she left sooner. Well, why did the fuckface string Mary along just to appease Robin? What the fuck was that? Mary points out that she wanted to stay. She wanted to make it work. And if Cody had wanted to make it work, she would have stayed. She wanted to stay. It was never her intention to want to leave. She left because Cody refused to work on things. Cody didn't want to do it anymore. But it wasn't her thought of wanting to leave. So Janelle doesn't recognize Cody anymore. She says it's not the guy she married. She doesn't even recognize the guy anymore. So Mary says she wanted to stay, and she tells Cody if she wanted to leave sooner, she would have, but that wasn't her intention. And Cody, of course, makes the excuse that in plural marriage, the leadership won't let you keep marrying wives if you're discarding wives. So Cody says he was in terrible relationships because he wasn't willing to discard his wives. How can he even use that word discard with his wives when they are the mothers of his children who will be connected to him for the rest of their lives in some way, even as ex-wives, because they created a living human being, a soul together, and they will be connected through that for the rest of their lives. So just Cody using that word discard says a lot about the way he perceives women and the way he perceives his wives and the way he perceived his family, in my opinion. So Cody says he was in terrible relationships. He wasn't willing to discard his wives. And he thought his relationships with his wives were normal, that they weren't that bad because all of his friends in marriages had the same problems he did. So he didn't really understand how bad the relationships were until he met Robin and he was in a normal relationship with deep emotional intimacy instead of the constant fighting. And Cody says people call it fucking and fighting. And he says that doesn't create intimacy. It just creates orgasms. Just Cody saying the word orgasm makes me throw up in my mouth. Seriously, there is not a less sexy human on the planet than Kotex. He is like the least sexy human on earth. To hear him even say orgasm is so cringe. He's like disgusting. Cody hadn't had intimacy with Mary in decades, and he definitely wasn't affectionate and having intimacy with Christine. So he talks a lot about fucking and fighting, but there really wasn't any fucking going on. Now, Cody tells Mary it's not divorce that sucks. It's marrying the wrong person because you just don't know when it's happening. So Mary says, wow, and she chuckles. And she points out that because he married her at 6 months, he's saying he married the wrong person and he didn't know. And Cody says He doesn't know if he married the wrong person or if it was only right just for the time when he first married her. All he knows is he and Mary have different timestamps on when things weren't right anymore, when they weren't happy anymore with the marriage. Mary feels what sucks is marrying the wrong person and not telling her until 32 years later when you know it's wrong and you feel it's wrong and you just don't say anything. Now, Christine is very excited. She's in a good time in her life. She's excited to be with David in this monogamous relationship with no threats of anybody else, and it's just her. And she finds it very strange and very telling to think of polygamy as a threat to her relationship, or to think of the other wives, the other women, as a threat to her relationship. Christine mentions how in her plural marriage, on New Year's, she always wanted someone to kiss, someone to be affectionate with, to share a New Year's kiss with. And in polygamy, she didn't have that. They all celebrated together. She and Cody weren't very affectionate. It was nothing like she and David. And now she has that. So Christine thanks David for his affection. She appreciates it. She just drinks it in. She hasn't had it for so long. So Christine feels like Cody and Robin are soulmates. And she has that with David now, so she understands. And last week, she realized how it feels to be soulmates with someone. And at that point, she understood how Cody wanted to always be at Robin's house, how he was drawn to Robin. He gravitated to her. He wanted to be there. He had to be there. And Christine explains that she knew Cody and Robin were soulmates, and now she gets it. There was no way Cody could be anywhere else. And she says if a polygamist were to have a soulmate relationship with just one of his wives, she doesn't know what that would look like for the larger family. She wonders how a polygamous husband could have a good relationship with all of his wives if one of his wives is a soulmate wife with that type of a relationship. Well, Christine knows what would happen because it happened with Cody and his ex-wives and Robin. You can't have a favorite wife, a soulmate wife, and have this larger family situation work and have the other marriages work. So David is really excited for the future. He loves Christine and he thinks she is too good to be true. The relationship feels too good to be true, and Christine feels the same way. She says she and David feel like soulmates, and they both acknowledge that. So Christine admits that they are moving way too fast. They have no intention of slowing down, even if the kids are uncomfortable. Mary is in a good place at this point. She feels very peaceful about their situation. Cody doesn't feel peaceful, and Mary notices that. Mary says that Cody is saying mean things, and she acknowledges that Cody has a lot of work to do internally. So after Cody was mean to Mary, he tells Mary he likes her now when he disliked her for the past 6 years. And Mary tells Cody to be honest, that it was more than that, that he needs to be honest with himself. Cody doesn't know, but what he does know is he wants to move forward. He wants to be friendly with Mary. He wants to be friendly with Mary because that's what Robin wants. Now, Mary says she isn't hanging out for Christmas, and she lets Cody know she isn't his wife anymore. It's done. Cody tells Mary that Robin wants her there at Christmas. She still considers Mary family. So Cody tells Mary he guesses he'll just disregard Robin's opinion, and he points out that Mary doesn't know him at all if she doesn't know he is a man of his own mind. He doesn't listen to Robin and do what Robin says. He thinks for himself. He does what he wants. He wears the pants. Is Cody a man of his own mind? Does Cody wear the pants, or does Robin wear the pants? In my opinion, Cody isn't a man of his own mind. That convinced no one. Cody can say it till he's blue in the face, but we all know who wears the pants in that house. Mary knows Cody won't disregard Robin's opinion. Mary says, yeah, Cody is a man of his own mind, but she knows he considers Robin's opinion. At this point, Cody doesn't know how to define his relationship with Mary. I would say it's non-existent. They share a kid together. They might see each other at the wedding or something, but that's probably it. Now, Mary tells Cody not to worry about her. They're exes now. It's done. And Mary tells Cody she wishes he knew what an amazing person she is. You know what? That is Cody's loss. He's never going to know, and Mary deserves better than Cody, and I think she knows that. Now, Cody says he doesn't want another loss. He doesn't want any more enemies, and he hopes one day Mary will call in the future. He shouldn't hold his breath for that. Cody says he's embarrassed that his other divorces created contempt. The divorces created what he calls contemptuous enemies, so he doesn't know what the future holds. If I was Cody, the future might hold therapy and calling my kids and reaching out to my kids, trying to improve myself, trying to improve my relationships with my kids. If Cody continues on this path, his future will be full of anger, resentment, bitterness, and karma. I see a shitstorm up ahead that might end with Cody all alone, lonely and miserable in a straitjacket. I don't know. That does it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 7, where we get a little more insight into Christine and David's relationship. There's maybe a little too much PDA and a very uncomfortable Isabel next episode. I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.